In John chapter 17, just before Jesus goes to the cross, he's praying, and he's praying out loud. And he says these words in verse 22. And he's asking the Father, "And the glory which thou hast given me, I have given them, that they may be one just as we are one." And I thought, wow, the glory that God had given to Jesus, Jesus is asking that the Father would give it to them. So what is this glory? Well, I looked it up in the Strong's, and it says, in a wide application, literally or figuratively, objectively or subjectively, it is dignity, glory or glorious, honor, praise, and worship. Now, he's not saying that we're supposed to worship the disciples or whatever. He's just saying that the glory that he has, which is honor, which is dignity, be given to them. Now, the word that is used, glory, in that verse is taken from another word. And this one is really interesting. It says to think by implication, to seem truthfully or uncertainly. And it is translated, be accounted of your own pleasure, be of reputation, seem good, suppose, think, or believe. So when you look at the whole meaning of this word and the root word it comes from, you see that this glory is not just the woohoo that we think about of glory, but dignity and honor and good reputation. Okay? You say, well, that's great. That was for the apostles, the disciples, right? No. Because if you go just to two more verses, verse 22, Jesus says, go back two verses, verse 20, he says, I do not ask in behalf of these alone, but for those also who believe in me, believe these things through their word. So in other words, Jesus is praying not just for the disciples, he's praying for all those who will believe because of what the disciples say through the word of the disciples. And you say, well, that was a long time ago. I haven't heard the word of the disciples. Well, guess what? If you're a believer, it's because the disciples who were the first ones that went out and preached about Jesus. So Jesus is praying not just for the disciples, he's praying for you too. That the glory which God had given to Jesus, Jesus has given to us. That we may be one as the Father and the Son are one. Jesus doesn't want there to be a whole bunch of division between his people. He wants us to be one, to be joined together in harmony as he and the Father are one. And he wants us to share in the glory, the dignity, the honor that Jesus has. Now, we're not expecting people to praise and worship us the way that they praise and worship, or we praise and worship Jesus, but he wants us to share in what he had and who he is with the Father. So just think about that this weekend. Like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll talk to you soon.